In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 most deadliest viruses in the world. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. Long before our species evolved into its modern form, humans were combating viruses. Vaccines and antiviral medications have helped individuals recover from several viral diseases by preventing infections from spreading widely. For one illness, smallpox, we've been able to eliminate it, preventing new instances from spreading over the world. Viruses, on the other hand, are still a long way from being defeated. In recent decades, several viruses have spread from animals to humans, triggering major outbreaks and killing thousands of people. The virus strain that caused the Ebola outbreak in West Africa between 2014 and 2016 kills up to 90% of those infected, making it the most dangerous member of the Ebola family. However, there are other viruses out there that are just as deadly, if not more so. Although other viruses, such as the new coronavirus that is presently causing outbreaks around the world, have lower fatality rates, they nonetheless pose a severe threat to public health because we lack the tools to tackle them. Based on the likelihood that a person will die if infected with one of them, the number of people they have killed, and whether they are an increasing threat, these are the 10 worst killers. Number 10. Sars Cov2. According to the WHO, the virus that causes severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, was originally discovered in 2003 during a Chinese outbreak. According to the Journal of Virology, the virus began in bats and then spread to nocturnal creatures known as civets before infecting humans. According to History.com, after causing an outbreak in China, SARS expanded to 26 nations around the world, infecting over 8,000 individuals and killing over 770 over the course of several months. Fever, chills, and body pains are common symptoms of the illness, which commonly leads to pneumonia, a serious condition in which the lungs become inflamed and fill with pus. The CDC reports that no new cases of SARS have been documented since the early 2000s, despite SARS having a 9.6% death rate. Number 9. Rotavirus. There are currently 2 vaccines available to protect infants from rotavirus, the most common cause of serious diarrhea in babies and young children. The virus can spread quickly via the fecal-oral pathway, according to researchers, meaning that small particles of feces end up being consumed. Although rotavirus infection kills few children in the industrialized world, it is a killer in the developing world, where rehydration treatments are not readily available. Rotavirus infections cause more than 25 million outpatient visits and 2 million hospitalizations each year. According to the WHO, rotavirus hospitalizations and mortality have decreased dramatically in countries that have used the vaccine. Number 8. Dengue. According to clinical microbiology reviews, the dengue virus first arose in the Philippines and Thailand in the 1950s and has since expanded throughout the tropical and subtropical parts of the world. According to the journal Nature, up to 40% of the world's population currently lives in areas where dengue fever is endemic, and the disease and the mosquitoes that carry it is certain to spread further as the world warms. Dengue fever infects 100 to 400 million people each year, according to the World Health Organization. Although dengue fever has a lower mortality rate than some other viruses, at around 1%, the virus can cause an Ebola-like disease called dengue hemorrhagic fever, which has a 20% mortality rate if left untreated. We need to think about the dengue virus a lot more because it's a serious threat to us, Marburg added. Number 7. Influenza. According to the World Health Organization, up to 650,000 people die from the flu each year. When a new flu strain evolves, however, a pandemic occurs, resulting in faster disease spread and, in many cases, higher mortality rates. According to the CDC, the most lethal flu pandemic, known as the Spanish flu, began in 1918 and affected up to 40% of the world's population, killing an estimated 50 million people. I believe something similar to the 1918 flu outbreak might happen again, Marburg added. We'd have a significant problem if a novel influenza strain found its way into the human population, was easily transmitted between humans, and caused serious sickness. Number 6. Hantavirus. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, HPS, first attracted widespread attention in the United States in 1993. CDC. A healthy young Navajo man and his fiancée died within days of feeling shortness of breath in the Four Corners area of the United States. A deer mouse living in the home of one of the afflicted patients was found to have hantavirus a few months later. According to the CDC, more than 600 persons in the United States have contracted HPS, with 36% of them dying from it. People catch the disease after coming into contact with the droppings of infected mice, rather than from one person to another. According to a 2010 research published in the journal Clinical Microbiology Reviews, a distinct hantavirus triggered an outbreak in the early 1950s during the Korean War. Moreover, 3,000 UN troops were infected, with approximately 12% of them dying. Number 5. Smallpox. The Globe Health Assembly declared the world smallpox-free in 1980. Prior to that, mankind battled smallpox for thousands of years, with the disease killing roughly 1 in every 3 people who contracted it, according to the BBC. Survivors were left with significant, lasting wounds and, in many cases, blindness. Mortality rates were substantially greater in areas outside of Europe, where people had minimal interaction with the virus before tourists carried it to their territories. Historians estimate that smallpox, which was brought to the Americas by European explorers, killed 90% of the native population. According to the BBC, smallpox killed 300 million people in the 20th century alone. It was something that put a big cost on the earth, not only mortality but also blindness, Adalja explained. Number 4. HIV. HIV may be the most lethal virus in the modern world. Dr. Amesha Dalja, an infectious disease physician and spokeswoman for the Infectious Disease Society of America, stated, "It's still the largest killer." Since the disease's discovery in the early 1980s, an estimated 32 million individuals have died as a result of HIV. Right now, the infectious disease that is wreaking the most havoc on humanity is HIV, Adalja added. People with HIV can now live for years thanks to powerful antiviral medications. However, the illness continues to wreak havoc in many low and middle-income countries, where new HIV infections account for 95% of all new infections. According to the WHO, over 1 in every 25 adults in the WHO African area is HIV positive, accounting for nearly 2/3 of all HIV-positive people globally. There will be 680,000 HIV-related deaths worldwide in 2020. Number 3. Rabies. Despite the fact that pet rabies vaccines, which were introduced in the 1920s, helped to make the disease exceedingly rare in the industrialized world, it remains a severe problem in India and parts of Africa. After being bitten or scratched by an infected animal, you become infected with this virus. The brain and nerves may be harmed as a result of this. According to the National Health Service, once symptoms appear, death almost often follows, NHS. It wreaks havoc on the brain. It's a terrible sickness, Mulberger added. We have a rabies vaccination and antibodies that act against rabies, she explained, so if someone is bitten by a rabid animal, we can cure them. Number 2. Ebola Virus. The first known Ebola epidemics in humans occurred in the Sudanese Republic and the Democratic Republic of Congo in 1976. Contact with blood or other bodily fluids, as well as tissue from infected humans or animals, spreads Ebola. Elke Mulberger, an Ebola virus expert and associate professor of microbiology at Boston University, told Live Science that the known strains vary greatly in their deadliness. According to Essential Human Virology, one strain, Ebola restin, does not even make people sick, 2016. The Bundibugyo strain, on the other hand, has a fatality rate of up to 50%, while the Sudan strain has a fatality rate of up to 71%. According to the WHO, the outbreak in West Africa began in early 2014, and is the largest and most complex outbreak of the disease to date. Number 1. Marburg Virus. The Marburg virus was initially detected by scientists in 1967, when tiny outbreaks occurred among lab employees in Germany who were exposed to diseased monkeys imported from Uganda, according to the World Health Organization (WHO). According to Mayo Clinic, Marburg virus symptoms are similar to Ebola in that both viruses can cause hemorrhagic fever, which causes high fevers and widespread bleeding throughout the body, which can lead to shock, organ failure, and death. According to the WHO, the case fatality rate in the initial outbreak, 1967, was 24%, but it reached 83% in the 1998 to 2000 outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and 100% in the 2017 outbreak in Uganda. In August 2021, the first reported Marburg virus outbreak in West Africa was confirmed. A male from southwestern Guinea got a fever, headache, weariness, abdominal pain, and gingival hemorrhage as a result of his illness. According to Reuters, the outbreak lasted 6 weeks and only one case was confirmed, despite the fact that there were 170 high-risk contacts. What do you think about our video? Let us know in the comment box below. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Thank you.